kitchen. Welcome to the Nobles Nido. If you're new here, I'm Sarah. I'm a working mom of 3 little kids. I work full-time for a church across the city, and we love to eat homemade food, and I love to cook. And we make it happen during the week by meal prepping on the weekends to get us through dinner during the week. Oh my gosh, there's so much noise happening right now. My dogs are sneezing, my baby's doing something. Anyways, I spent some time yesterday going ahead and taking care of veggies and some other things for today's meals. So yesterday I prepped a bunch of onions, some garlic, and some bell pepper for some recipes today. Today I still need to cut up potatoes and carrots. Tonight we're gonna have potato soup for dinner because it is like cold and gloomy here, hence the like terrible lighting. So we're gonna make potato soup for dinner. So I need to cut up potatoes and carrots for that. And then we're gonna have Ensalada De La Casa, which is a chicken salad with romaine, pickled red onions, roasted corn, avocado, cucumbers, and ranch dressing that a local restaurant makes, and I just make a version of that. Bryson and I will have that for lunches this week. And then we will have taco casserole for dinner and pizza. So I'm not gonna prep the pizza because I'll do the dough like overnight. It'll be a 24-hour dough. But the taco casserole, I will prep all the way up to the step where we put it in the oven. And then this week when we get home, we'll just set the oven and put it in and let it heat up. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, if you made it this far past that terrible quality, thanks, you're a true friend. So let's get started. I'm actually attempting to wear an apron today. I really don't always remember to wear an apron. I just need new aprons too. That would probably help. But anyways, I'm trying today because I'm in a fancy sweater from church and I'm probably burning alive at this point. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get some chicken diced up for our Ensalada De Casa. I don't know about you, but working with chicken always weirds me out. Maybe I've talked about this in another video. There's not many things I'm afraid of, but I just make sure I take a lot of really good care of my area around me when I am working with chicken. So I'm actually going to take this chicken and chop it up pretty small, mainly because this has to last multiple salads for Bryson and I, and I'm trying to make this meat stretch, and this is one way that we do this, almost to make the chicken like croutonish, in the sense that it's just another topping. It's not a main event of the salad. So that's really how we make it stretch. Oh, here we go. See, always, if I have worked with chicken, I will bleach the whole area and then I will bleach the whole sink. What really makes me nervous is I wash Addie's bottles in the same sink, right, that I wash off all of our chicken stuff. And so I always want to make sure that the sink and the area around us is super clean for if she, so she doesn't have any contamination in her bottles or formula. And I keep my hands very clean. I don't always show me washing my hands, but don't worry, I am. So here, I'm just going to let the chicken marinate after I've chopped it up really small with some lime juice and this really good seasoning. I think it is called, it's carne asada seasoning, but I don't remember. Maybe Lowry's makes it? I don't know. It's delicious, and it is so good. And then I like to give it a good stir, and then I'll usually stir it, add more seasoning, stir it, add more seasoning. And then when I have chickened utensils or whatever, I will put them immediately in the dishwasher if I can. Alright, so next I'm working on my vegetables. That potato tried to escape from me. Did you see it? So I'm cutting up the potatoes and the carrots for the potato soup. I always like to rinse them off and then put them on a towel. And by them, I mean any root vegetables that need to be rinsed off. And then I always take the ends off my carrots. These are organic carrots, so a lot of people feel more comfortable not eating them peeled. I don't think I even peel these. Yeah, I just give them a good scrub and I don't peel them. And then I'm going to chop them up pretty fine. So because I'm meal prepping, I try to cut all of my veggies at one time, and then we'll just, have bowls, and it creates definitely more dishes to do, but it's worth it to me because I find it's more efficient. So more bowls, but more efficient. It just works out. So now I'm just peeling these potatoes. I friggin' hate peeling potatoes, people. I hate it so much. And then this peeler's like 10 years old. So it's giving me, look, I get so frustrated. Also, I've had an outfit change because I was burning alive in that sweater. Who kept that sweater on? What a not great idea. I get too ahead of myself. I just want to get into the task so I don't think about like what I'm wearing or what's around me. Anyways, so I have replaced this peeler since I made this video, and it's been quite the benefit to my cooking life. So at the same time, I'm also getting some ground beef started for the taco casserole, and just letting that cook while I finish or start dicing up these potatoes. I'm not doing anything fancy here. I'm not keeping everything the same size, mainly just because a lot of this is going to get pureed into the soup, so it doesn't matter, and it'll all cook well. Now I'm going between the vegetables and between the pan and just trying to manage both things. You can pretend like I'm on Chopped if you want. I could probably make it on Chopped, but the anxiety would kill me. So anyways, I like to wash my potatoes off once they're cut because the starchiness will make the soup gummy. So I give them a good rinse, give them a good shake, drain all that off. Sorry for the terrible angle. I'm still learning here, people. So I'm just continuing to go back to that meat and give it a stir. We want to get this meat as brown as possible. Also, this is a Caraway pan. It was like $180. It's a beautiful pan, but it has not stood the test of time and the test of cooking 95% of our meals. Oh, look, here comes Valley. She's so cute. She just wants to have some mom time, so I always try to make a way for her to be with me if she wants, to be with me. So I went ahead and removed the beef from the pan, and now I'm getting the rest of the ingredients for the taco casserole made in that pan. So some onions, garlic, bell peppers. Valley's about to come back. She says the cutest thing. Just wait.
Mama.
You say peppers?
Right now, she's in this phase where she knows she can put words together, but she'll be like, doing mama, hair. Ugh, it's so cute. I love this. I'm trying to soak it all in before she rapidly develops. Okay, so here I'm just adding the ground beef back in with the veggie mixture, and then I'm adding some cumin, chili pepper, some tomato paste, and then I think salt and pepper also. And I'm just stirring all of that together and kind of letting the spices blend well, making sure that tomato paste really melts into the actual dish. At the same time that's going, I'm also getting this corn, the roasted corn for our salads going. This is just super simple. I just put corn on a small sheet tray. I believe the oven is set somewhere between 400 and 425. I don't really honestly think it matters. Topping the whole thing with oil, and then I don't show it here, but there is salt added too and some pepper. And then I just roast it, and the corn gets this beautiful dark color, and it gets this nice sweetness on the inside, but it's a little bit crispy. It's so good. So back to the taco casserole, I'm adding in some cheese and some fresh salsa. You could use jarred salsa also, but this is really what helps bind it all together to make it more like a casserole. And then I'm just giving that a good stir. I'm lining a 9x13. You could definitely do a 9x11. Sometimes I have to do that, or an 8x8 if you make a smaller portion. So I'm smoothing out the entire filling mixture, and then I'm topping it with cheese. Here I'm topping it with shredded cheddar cheese, which Bryson has done for me because he is husband of the year. And then I'm also adding in some pepper jack as well. We don't do all pepper jack just because that's a little too spicy for the kids, but we love the flavor pepper jack brings, so we kind of just do a mixture, but we bag them separate because we use both cheeses for other meals. And then I put a lid on it, and I stick it in the fridge. I'm sure I've probably allowed it to cool a little bit before I stick it in the fridge. So now I'm going to work on the lettuce. I'm just using some hearts of romaine here, and I'm picking off all the bad leaves because I think this is like a week or so old. So the head is still good. If a leaf or two is broken or looking a little damaged, just pull it right off and you'll be good to go. So I pull those off, and then I just get to chopping it. And I just I don't do anything fancy. I usually slice it, straight down, kind of like hot dog style, and then I just chop it up, and then I fill up my salad strainer with it, and then go straight over. I use cold water to give all of the leaves a good rinse, and then I pat it down into the water, give it a good shake, massage it around, and then I pull the strainer insert out and give it a good shake also. Good zhuzh, as my mom would say, a good zhuzh. And then I put it back in the strainer, and then before I start spinning it, I usually let it just sit for a few minutes and let the majority of the water drain off, but then I just give it a good spin, give it a stop. We'll take that strainer back out, and we'll dump out the rest of that water. Now, if you're not going to prep the lettuce into containers right away, you can just leave it in your strainer, and the water that's really residual after all of the shaking and straining that you do will go to the bottom and will help keep the lettuce really moist without making it soggy and gross. So here I'm working on the soup. The first thing that I do is I just fry up some bacon that was actually already cooked just to have it let off some more oil. And then once that's nice and crispy, I pull it out and add in all the veggies. Some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder. I think this might have called for fresh garlic, but I was over it at this point. Some smoked paprika, a little bit of oregano, and then I fill it up with 2 containers of broth. If I was going to do this again, I would not do this much broth. I would do at most a container and a half, or I would start with just 1 container of broth and then see where I end up. This was way too liquidy. So now I'm just starting to prep our salads, and what I do for these Ensalada De Casas is I fill each container with some of the lettuce, and then I top it all with that roasted corn. Then I add pickled red onions, which I had made the day before. Super easy. I've made them a lot on this channel. Then I package up the chicken, and we are ready to go for our lunches during the week.
Alright, things went a little off the rails there, so they're still going off the rails. So I went ahead and just added some milk, flour, and cream to this soup and blended it up. Honestly, it's like really, really thin. I don't mind like thin soup, but this is just maybe too thin. Hold on 1 second, okay? Can you wait? So in the future, I think I would add less liquid. But I've topped them with green onions, cheese, and bacon bits, and we're gonna see if these kids will eat them. So that's gonna be it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me, it really helps my family. And until next week, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.